keeping quiet, not saying that there's something going on that they're not revealing. Maybe the hearing.
You believe that Dambazao should be speaking?
Yeah, of course he has to speak up. I mean, why keep quiet? The AG went to the hearing and said this thing did not come from me, and the president heard that. It didn't come from me. It came from my office. Legitimate, it will not have emanated from legitimately. So who is watching what? Who is the chief watchdog? Do we now to watch the watchdog? That is the question.
But this has to do greatly with perception, because if he says that he didn't sign any letter that was forwarded, then where has he derailed, or has he gone wrong? Because he has exonerated himself from that. No, it did come from his office, but I did not sign it.
He didn't. That's actually not an exoneration. Actually, that is an indictment. It's not. It indicts him. It indicts his competence, his fitness for that office, to come into the public and say something like, "Oh, it came from my office, but it didn't come from me." He's the minister. The buck stopped at his desk. He shouldn't have said that. He should have looked for another excuse. I think it's insulting to us as members of this public to say, well, I'll say, look at it. Minor said, and we understand from his statement as a lawyer, how can a fugitive who has a lawyer enforce, because that's not another matter. And they're saying there was what they call pension fund syndicate fraud. And he, the Attorney General, the chief law enforcement of the nation now, said on TV at the hearing that there are so many people involved, about 300-something people are involved in this. He, supposedly, he knows the name. He has a list. He knows that because he said some are in government, some are in politics, and some are even members of the legislature. What are we doing about it? And he is the Attorney General. The first thing he's supposed to do is, these are the people involved, we're going to arrest them. No. But he's sitting down there giving an excuse for incompetence, saying that the letter did not, it came from the office, I don't know about it.
But you also heard the HOS when she said that she got the letter, but she seeks further clarification on whether to act on it or not. But somehow he was already performing his duties in the Ministry of Interior. That raises question on whether or not the AGF himself, does he have the powers to give directives to the ministries?
Well, he does. He can, not directives, kind of like, I think you heard the other gentleman that says, in the letter, he said, well, as the chief law enforcement officer of this country.
But is it part of is it part of his modus operandi to give directives at the ministerial level when you still have a minister?
Yes, look, as the chief prosecutor in the country, if he has looked at something, for instance, if truly the warrant of arrest was quashed, I think it's still his responsibility to say, look, the warrant of arrest has been quashed here, but not to reinstate, but to just tell them, look, there's no more warrant of arrest. Reinstate this person. That will be out of his responsibility. That's not part of his job. But he can just tell the ministry or the head of service that, oh, there was a warrant of arrest and it's been quashed. Now, whatever the head of service wants to do about that, they can go ahead and do it.
Okay, let's get a question in from Maugbe in Abuja. Maugbe.
Well, some people would say we should go to the genesis of this. When Mr. Maina asked to meet with the AGF in Dubai, now he said that he put some people in the know. He put the National Security Advisor in the know, and he was given the go-ahead by the National Security Advisor. Should we also be asking questions of the National Security Advisor on this matter?
Yes, of course we should be asking if it's true that he informed the national. But again, going back to the genesis. Now, this is the man who said in the letter he didn't know about the letter, and he actually confessed and confirmed there was a meeting that he knew about that in Dubai, and then he informed the National Security Advisor on what is going on and so on and so forth. Yes, if he had done that, then the National Security Advisor should come forward and confirm whether look, these are all public servants. I mean, it's not like they're there by their own, by their own authority. We put them there to do some work, to perform some responsibility. They owe that to the public to explain to us. And again, it all flows back to the president, and I'm saying it, and I've said it before. If the president needs to salvage his legacy, if there's anything worth of salvaging in his legacy, he needs to address this issue, because it just reeks of impunity, corruption, and incompetence. And you can't have those three going on at the same time. It's potentially very dangerous.
Because there are also questions. There are also questions to be asked as to how he got into the country without, you know, did he go through immigration? If indeed he was declared wanted, was immigration aware of it? Did they flag it? Who did they tell? These are some of the questions that are coming forth as well. Are they bugging your mind as well?
Of course. It's actually head-scratching and mind-boggling that somebody who has been declared wanted, a fugitive, was just walking to the government, walking to the country, where we know how the immigration at the airport, if you pass through that airport, you see how much they scrutinize your passport. And so we had cases of people who only had issues with the EFCC, and they're not allowed to travel out of the country. So I'm saying this particular, again, let's start from the question. What does the AGF, what does he know from the start? What is the relationship between the AGF and Maina and Dambazao? What's there to actually have started this in the first place? And this person, Maina, a fugitive, he already has a lawyer. Am I wrong? He said, I have a lawyer. Anywhere you look in the world, if a fugitive has a lawyer, the first thing they tell the lawyer is, go bring your client in. We're not even going to deal with you until you bring him in. Because who are you representing? On whose behalf are you talking? Somebody who is somewhere we don't know, and the government is addressing the lawyer, and now he's saying that we have these names presented to us by minors. Let him come forward, defend himself. I know he said he was afraid that maybe they'll kill him or something. That's a different story entirely. So we have to look at that as well. But the whole issue surrounding Maina should just, we are becoming the laughing stock of the world. If the world is reading this, the whole, it's just to me, it's not sitting down very well at all. It's sad that we are where we are today, with a president who came on board promising us to do everything about corruption, and people believed him, they trusted him. That trust is being thrown down the drain now.
There definitely will be questions also in terms of how this has been handled. Eventually, we saw that the president moved into action and asked that, you know, he be arrested almost immediately. Would you say that that action was too late?
It was too late and too little. If you have an AGF that is involved in this, a national security advisor that is involved in this, I would have thought the best thing for the president, one, because you have to look at the seriousness of this and say something publicly to actually, I mean, to instill some confidence into the public that he's aware of this and he's doing something about it. Let the AGF step aside. Let Dambazao step aside. Bring in independence into the investigation. That will show that the administration is serious about what happened. But AGF is still there. If you are going to investigate that office, he's still the head of that office, okay? And now he has come out to say, well, this letter came out of my office, truly, an indictment by itself, but I don't know anything about it. That shows gross incompetence. If it were in a country that really worked, he will be gone 20 minutes after he said that, because he's bringing the whole administration down in impunity. He'll be out.
Okay.
At least step aside for investigations to be carried out. And remember now, he has said there are about 300 and something names of people involved in this pension scam. Serious stuff. Properties sold to people, to cronies. Serious, really, really serious. I don't think, in my little opinion, this is my 2 pence here, that we have ever faced anything such as this so far when it comes to the issue of corruption.
Still talking